Everybody, welcome back to my channel. So Tammy Talks here. Let's get into our kind of people. This is season 1, episode 5, the miseducation of the Negro. Let me fix this. Okay, so if you are brand new here, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Trying to get towards we're pushing towards 1,000 subscribers. So every little subscriber helps. If you are returning back because you've been rocking with me and you have still not subscribed, WTF, go ahead and subscribe. Thumbs up the video on your way in or your way out, whichever works best for you. Leave some comments below. Let's get into the episode, y'all. So the episode starts off with Tariq and Angela waking up in bed together, and he has to sneak out because Angela does not want his her aunt to catch him because she hasn't told her aunt or her daughter that she is dating him and messing around with him. So they want to just kind of keep a low profile for now. So it is Cotillion week, and Lauren gets a horse. Rich folk. She gets a whole horse. um, she gets a whole horse, and while she is out at the stable seeing the horse and everything, Leah is like, oh, I forgot to get the pearls. Let me go up to the study and get them. And that's where she sees her father, who is clearly trying to hide his tremors. And he's just like, bruh, it's fine. Okay? It's fine. So they're talking about his health or whatever. He's like, you need to be more concerned about whatever. This is, his focus is he doesn't want to be fussed around. And I think Teddy doesn't want to be fussed over because to some people, when you make a big deal about it, that's when it becomes real. So in his eyes, in his mind, he has it all under control. And he wants to keep this fake facade up that he has it under control, and let's not even worry about it. So Leah kind of tells him, you need to be more concerned with with Tariq, because he's been messing around with Angela, and the cameras that, have you noticed that there hasn't been a feed coming through the cameras? And Teddy is like, well, yeah. And she's like, okay, yeah, well, Tariq fed me some bull about there being some type of recall on the cameras. You need to just watch him. And Teddy is like, well, he's loyal. I raised him myself. And if he's not, he better watch out. And I said, that sounded like a threat. Papa Pope is not playing. Okay? So Nikki is doing like a photo shoot. It looks like for Eve's Crown. And she gets an email that her first choice for her college has applications have come in, but they want to know if she speaks a foreign language. They want to know about her community service. They want to know about all these other extracurriculars. And she's like, I didn't have time to do that. I worked after school. I don't have any of that stuff. So Angela, being super mom, is like, don't even worry about it. You will be the first person in this family to graduate college. So don't even trip on it. So Angela's like, I have to get her into the Cotillion. So Angela goes to Leah's office and asks if she can pull some strings to get her in. And she's like, maybe instead of, kind of chasing after my dreams of Eve's crown, I should have been doing this with her. I should have been doing that. And Leah is like, look, you're not a bad mother. There are a million other things that, could have gone wrong or you could have been doing. You're doing the best that you can. But what would I be if I deny my niece the chance to do this? She's like, so you can do it, but it's going to be $25,000, okay? Plus the cost of the fees. And I'm like, that kind of pissed me off. So then she was like, so if you need help with it, just let me know. And Angela's like, no, I can do it. This is Angela again reminding them, I don't need y'all money. I don't want y'all money. You know what I mean? And I think it's gotten to a point now where it's kind of like, why doesn't Leah see that? Like, this is what, the second or third time that Leah has tried to throw some money at her, And it's clear that she doesn't want the money. She doesn't want the handout. So the next thing that we see is Nikki sitting at the rehearsals, and it's the father daughter portion of the father daughter dance that they are rehearsing, and she doesn't have a father. She doesn't have anyone to dance with her. So Angela sees a man's suit coat, stands up, puts the suit coat on, and it's just kind of like, I'll dance with you. Nikki is kind of embarrassed because it's like, girl, this is not how this is gonna go. The Cotillion would not. I I know my brother was an escort in a Cotillion. I never did the Cotillion, but it's like, I don't think that's how that goes. So they have another gentleman that's there to dance with her. And Leah is, of course, super bitchy to Angela as usual. And it's like, girl, it's getting old at this point. It's getting old at this point. This is your sister, whether you like it or not. She's not asking for anything from you. She's not asking for money. She's not asking for, just automatic anything. She did want you to get her into the incubator program, but that is so that she can just kind of build up her company. That's not, I don't consider that a handout. So Leah is because Leah does these things where she's snippy towards her, she's rude towards her, and then she always has to look like, oh my god, I don't want to do it. And it's like, you go out of your way to be rude. It's irritating. So, Nikki and Taylor are sitting outside after cotillion practice, and they're just talking, and Taylor has her hand on Nikki's thigh. And Lauren sees it, and it's like, kind of pauses, but goes over and is still being super nice to Nikki because she promised Taylor that she would be nice to her. So she's like, so if you need help with an escort, I can, force any of the guys to be one. I know you want to get in the Spellman. I can help get the Spellman rep here for you and all this other stuff. And she's like, anything for you, cuz. And Nikki clocks and is kind of like, okay, all right. I wouldn't trust it. Wouldn't trust her at all. So next thing we see is Angela is sitting down with Tariq, and she asked him, would he mind, um, she asked him, would he mind giving or escorting Taylor, I'm sorry, hold on, y'all, 1 second, because the notes just dropped my screen. Okay, so we have Tariq and Angela are sitting outside, and Angela asked Tariq, would he be willing to escort Nikki to the dance because, or dance with her because she doesn't have a father figure that can do it, and Angela won't. I mean, and Leah won't let Angela do it herself. So they're talking. She's like, she feels bad because Nikki doesn't have a father around. So Tariq asks Angela, like, where's her father? She explains that he's in jail because he was boosting electronics. And the guy that he was doing it with, when they got caught, he shot and killed the security guard. So they both are in jail right now. And you can tell that Tariq would love to escort Nikki and dance with her, but he tells Angela that the cameras that were put in he's not going to put them back in, because at the beginning of the episode, she does ask him when he's going to put the cameras back in. She said because it's a sense of security for her. So he tells her now he's not going to put the cameras back in because Teddy wanted that live feed. So that information from the camera was going straight to him, and he's sorry. And Leo, so Angela was like, you're doing all of this, getting close to me, whatever, to spy on me, get information. And he's like, no, I fell for you. I truly fell for you. This is just something like residual damage that happened as a result of it. And he's like, I was blinded because He said he was blinded by his loyalty to Teddy because Teddy took care of him. Teddy put him through school and all this other stuff. So Angela is pissed, as she has every right to be, and she tells him, "Get out my life, stay away from my family, don't come back here." So we see Nikki trying on some dresses for the cotillion, and she asks Angela if Tariq will be willing to like dance with her. And Angela tells her that, we broke up. And Nikki tells her, like, you broke up with him for being honest. You know what I mean? Like, you're too hard on people. Um, if he's apologetic, if he's sorry, if, like, he's a good guy, don't mess over a good guy because you're gonna get in your own way. And then she shows her mom a picture of a dress that she wants that's at like a consignment store or like a vintage, like a thrift shop. So Leah goes to get that for her. Next, we see Raymond is talking to. Raymond is out with his son at like a gun range or something like that, like one of those outdoor ones, shooting area. And he's telling his mom how he's ready to take Darman back from Teddy. And his mom was like, well, hell, I've been waiting on you to go to war. Like, what are we going to do? And he tells his mom that he got his ex-wife involved. And she was like, are you sure? Because the family is just now recovering from what she did. And I said, oh, yeah? What happened? Like, I feel like the stuff that we be wanting to see about and hear about right away, they don't be wanting to tell us. So he tells his mom that, you know what, it's too late, it's done. The plan is already in motion. Rock and roll with it, babe. Rock and roll with it. So later that night, we see Raymond in bed with Leah, and he asked her something about the company, or he asked her something. I didn't catch what it was. And she tells him that she doesn't know. And then she's like, why don't we take a shower together or take a bath together? So he is like, yeah, go ahead. I'll catch up with you in a couple minutes. And while she goes and like we hear her in the restroom turning on the water, he gets into her iPad and he looks up some stuff. And I think he finds some emails that shows that she's lying. So it's like he can't trust her because she's always gonna have her loyalty to her father over her loyalty to him, and that's a problem for him. So then Taylor's having a party because Cotillion Week, everybody's parents is like shelling out cash. So she's having this big party, and Nikki and Taylor are on the party bus, and they're talking, and they start kissing. Lauren comes on the bus, sees them kissing. She doesn't say that she saw them. She just kind of runs away. So Angela calls Tariq back, taking her daughter's advice, and she tells Tariq that she thinks that Teddy had her mother take the fall for whatever drug situation mess he was involved in, and she wants to know if he remembered hearing anything. And I'm like, girl, weren't y'all like 5? What would he remember? And Tariq tells her that he doesn't remember anything, but he knows that Teddy's brother was like trying to clean up the streets or whatever. And while he doesn't have a wife or kids, Teddy has all his journals. So he's like, the journals are in his study, in his office, and all you have to do is get into his office to get those studies in his office, and then you can get those journals, and then maybe some of that information is in there. There's a family dinner after like the opening of the cotillion. That would be one way to get into the house. And then Angela was like, well, can't you just invite me? And Tariq is like, no, because that's going to make, we can't let them know that we're together, because then he won't be able to get any intel either. So she's like, well, I'm family. I should be invited. I should be able to get into a family dinner, right? So Lauren is trying on her dresses, and Raymond's mother is there talking to Leah, and Raymond's mother is now talking about Darman, which is their company that Teddy bailed out. And Leah said, I'm not going to talk to you about it. Absolutely not. And it's a little shade going back and forth. And then Lauren is telling her how Lauren comes out and tells her how she was hoping that her and Taylor could escort each other to the cotillion. And God bless that mama. Raymond's mother was like, well, no, you go with the man, you go with the boy. A young man is who, takes you and does all this stuff. So no, you can't take your friend. And then Lauren like comes out to her grandmother who almost fell back and had a heart attack. And Leah's like, you know what? You can escort each other there. You have my blessing. So then Angela shows up to Teddy's office. And while she's at Teddy's office, she puts on this thing where she's very meek and demure. And she's like, I just really hope that I can get to know you. You can get to know me. Um, we're family. So he tells her, for one, again, he's like, oh, do you need the money for Nikki's cotillion fees? Because I have no problem paying for my granddaughter. And it's like, why do y'all keep insulting her about money? So she's like, nope, I sold all my mom's like evening gowns and ball dresses that I assumed that you bought for her. So I was able to, pay for that and have some extra money because they must have been super, super dope. So he invites her and Nikki over to the dinner. It's like, yeah, you guys should definitely come, so we can all get to know each other. You're definitely family. Come on over to the house for dinner. So they are having the opening of Cotillion Week, where the girls get up and they have this candle and they say, what their intent for the future is. And it's kind of where like the guys are all there that are going to be escorting them, and it's very ceremonious. So they all get up and it's like, hi, I'm Lauren. I want to go to Howard University where I'm going to study this, and then I'm going to work for Franklin Holding. So Nikki gets up and she's fumbling and bumbling because that little girl is so awkward. And she's like, I want to go to Howard for creative writing because she wants to write novels that change the world. And Lauren is like, can I just say something really quick? I'm happy that my cousin is here, and you had a rough time last year where you've uprooted yourself and you transfer schools, and you have a criminal record, and that's okay. That's okay. You didn't let that define you. So everybody in the audience is, ooh, oh my God, oh my God. And she's doing this in front of the Spelman rep. And Nikki needs that Spelman rep to, give her the kudos because that's where she wants to go to school at. So Nikki goes running out. Angela stands up to go chase after her, but we see all the other girls come running out too. And Lauren runs after her, and Nikki was like, why would you do that? You are a selfish, conniving bitch, and woo, woo, woo. Why would you try to embarrass me? And she's like, well, you do have a criminal record. And Nikki was like, you do too. And Lauren said, no, my charges were dropped and expunged. Um, so, but you're not as innocent as you try to be. And Nikki is like, well, you're a bitch and woo, woo, woo. And then Lauren tells her, I saw you kissing my girlfriend. And it's like, on one hand, yeah, that was effed up, right? But on the other hand, does that mean that you ruined this girl's future? No. So all the other Cotillion girls are standing behind them, and Taylor is like, oh, so then Nikki tells her there is something wrong inside of you. There's something wrong with you. And Taylor is like, why would you do that? And Lauren was like, I'm fighting for us the way that you said to fight for us. You know what I mean? I told you I was going to. And Taylor was like, she's right. There was something innately wrong inside of you. I don't want to be around you. I don't want to be with somebody like that. Like, we're done. And I said, girl, you know, embarrassed your cousin for no reason, pretty much embarrassed yourself, and then now got dumped. What a day. So, they are back at the house, and Angela's talking to her aunt, and she's like, I really wanted to get into that house today. I'll find another way to get into the study to get those books, whatever the case. And Nikki comes out and was like, no, let's go. I want to go to the party. So they get to the dinner, and the family is kind of like, oh shit, I didn't know y'all was coming for real, for real. Okay. So they had to set out extra chairs and tables and stuff. And Nikki's like, I just want to say something. I've never had a family before, not like this. And for everybody that thinks that they know me, you don't. And she's really talking to Lauren. So Lauren, because she's a little bitch, she's, and she like leans back and gets on her phone. And Nikki was kind of like, really? And Lauren was like, yeah, I don't care to hear this. And Leah was like, why are you being rude? And Lauren is like, well, because she and Lauren wanted to tell her mom, well, she kissed my girlfriend, and Leah cuts her off. And it's like, I can't believe how mean and spiteful you're being. I don't know if I'm more upset with the fact that you are this way, or that I raised you to be this way and I've allowed you to be this way. And what I think happened is, see, Leah saw herself in the mirror. And the way that Lauren was acting with Nikki is exactly how I think Leah saw that that's how she's been acting with Angela the entire time. I really do think that's what happened. So Lauren is like mouthing off. So Leah was like, you know what? I'm pulling you from the cotillion. If you can't act civilized at a damn family dinner, you're not ready for society. And Raymond was kind of like, whoa. And Leah was like, foot down. That's it. And the whole table is kind of like, damn, girl. And even Angela, it was kind of sitting there like awkward. So Lauren gets sent to her room, and Nikki like gets up and she starts fake crying, and she runs out, and Angela's like, I'm sorry, y'all, excuse me. So she chases after her daughter. While she's chasing after her daughter, Teddy tries to eat some soup, and the way that he scooped that up and then couldn't do it. So now he's frustrated because Leah jumps up and it's like, are you okay? And now everybody in the family has seen that there's something wrong, right? Which is the last thing that he wanted to have happen. So he runs out and he goes to the bathroom and he starts popping pills. Now, while he's doing that, Angela goes out, and Angela finds out that her daughter just kind of did that to set her up. So Angela's supposed to be up in there looking for these books. She in there looking at pictures and shit. I get so mad on TV when people are supposed to be like in one room doing something and they get mystified by a picture. Girl, get on out. So Tariq comes in and he's like, you got to get out of here. Hurry it up, because Teddy is in the fucking bathroom. So they're like stuffing books and stuff into his pants so he can hide them in his jacket. And then they have the time to kiss. And I'm like, meanwhile, Teddy is in there still popping pills. Still popping pills, just struggling, just popping them. And next thing you know, he wall slides down because he done fell out from probably all that damn experimental medication he's pumping into his body. And while he's laying down, he can see underneath the door, and he sees Tariq and Angela's feet. And then he hears their conversation saying, come on, let's get out of here before we get caught. Great episode. Great episode. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up the video. Leave some comments. Let me know how you guys feel about this episode. The show is not on for the next couple of weeks because, as we all know, fall shows on Fox get pushed back because of the World Series. So I will catch you guys in a couple of weeks. Peace.